What's up, everybody? Mike Lyons here. So we're going to continue on with the top 3 exercises. Today is hamstrings. So I'm going to go over my top 3. So first one is seated hamstring curl. It's basically a machine that most gyms already have. And it's one of those things that you can manipulate. So you can use lying hamstring curl, seated hamstring curl. The biggest thing is how you're contracting your hamstring. All right, so you're gonna start with hip width apart to your feet, but this is an exercise that you can actually change the angles of your toes to manipulate your hamstring a little bit better. So the first set, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna angle my toes together. So ankles are hip width apart, and I'm just angling my toes together like this, and I'm driving that underneath, holding that flex for a count or 2, nice, slow, controlled on the way up. So you're gonna do like 10, 12 on these sets, but I want you to go do a couple feeder sets, warm-up sets, but I want you to go to absolute failure. So you're getting to 10, starting to fail, your complete fail at 12, 13, 14. So second set, I want you going normal or completely hip width apart, and your toes are gonna be in the exact same angle. So it's gonna stay in that hip width apart. Same thing, same control. Bring it underneath, hold that flex. Nice, slow and controlled on the way up. Hold that flex. Nice, slow and controlled on the way up. Same thing, going to always complete failure. And then for set number 3, what you're gonna do is keep that hip width apart. Just angle your toes away from each other ever so slightly. And that's gonna hit more the outside of the hamstring, right up into that hamstring glute tie-in. And trust me, if you do try this, you will feel the difference of each angle of the toe. And there you go. There's exercise number 1. All right, so now we're gonna move on to stiff leg deadlifts. I'm gonna be using a pendulum machine that some gyms might not have. So what you can do in this case is you use dumbbells, or you can use a barbell. The only reason I don't use barbells for stiff legs is it pronates your grip, so it rounds your shoulders. So you're already in this rounded position. So a lot of people, their first mistake is they round their back, then they round their lower back, all the pressure's there. So if you have an access to a trap bar or something like that, that also gives you that neutral grip where you can do it. All depends on what your gym has and what it doesn't have. But you wanna get into it. Chest stays up. So scapulas stay retracted, and then you're bending at the hip, pushing that bum back until you feel that stretch, and then straight up. And you don't need to pop your hips forward. That's everyone's biggest mistake is you stay here, there. So keep that tension. Only come up where the tension stops. So the big thing here is don't let your back, when you get down here, don't let it round. So as soon as I round, all that pressure goes right to my lower back. So you gotta keep that chest up, and then the whole shaking thing. So once you start doing one of these, I would rather you drop it and reset than try to bull your way through. Because unless you're a power lifter and that's like your mentality, doing that jerky thing, all you're doing is you're putting added pressure and you're starting to creep over that line of injury. In bodybuilding, that's bad for us. So you want to train to failure, but you want to train smart. So don't go to the point where risk of injury is so apparent that you're super close to it. So you want to steer clear of injury, but push yourself. So it's always that tightrope that you're going to be walking that I mentioned a lot. But that is exercise number 2. Moving on to exercise number 3 for the hamstrings. So we've already done like a hamstring curl. We did seated, and I kind of referred that to lying lying hamstring, and you can even do single hamstring curl. But a lot of people don't do this exercise, and it's one of those ones that I feel has been kind of misjudged. It is body weight, mind you, But if you do it like at the end of your hamstring workout, it'll fry. You'll be sore for days. And the biggest thing is tension. The legs can take punishment. The legs can take volume. Quads, that was the one way I made my quads grow. Like I did sets of 30, 40, 50, like crazy amount of reps. Hamstrings, same thing, like just crazy. Like I would literally shut my brain off and just go until my forearm broke. And this is one of those exercises where you don't have to think weight because it's your body weight. So you're just going until your body says, I'm done, I can't do it anymore. So everybody has a lat pull down. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna put this pad where your knees usually go all the way down to the bottom as far as it can go. And I always recommend bringing like a flat bench over, and you're basically angling your ankles underneath. And the flat bench is where your knees are gonna go. You can use a bar. I recommend it starting out. Your weight is not gonna be on the bar, but you're just gonna use it for sliding down. All your tension right now is in your heels. So keeping your back straight from basically the top of your neck down to your knees, you're gonna pull everything back up. And everything is through the heels, ankles. You can tell when they're using a bar because when they're out there, they're gripping this thing. Like they're doing one of these and everything's on there. The bar's shaking. And then when they come back up, they're doing like all their weight is on that bar. If you're their partner, the easy thing to do is take away the bar and tell them to hold your pinkies with their two hands. And you basically walk away, spreading their hands out. They have to do it because they can't use your hands because you're just fingertipping it. So now they have to do it. They have to use their ankles and they have to use that tension. And you can visibly spot if they're pulling their bum up and half repping it, or if they're actually doing it right and they're keeping everything nice and tall and putting all that tension in the hamstring. I've seen people that kill other hamstring exercises, get into this and only do 8 reps and they're done. They can't even do anymore. It's a hard exercise to do. But once you do get used to it, the tension is phenomenal. So big one with this one is shut that brain off, just go. As long as you're form. Shut your brain off, think form. And then when you physically can't come back up again, that's it, you're done. Put your hands on the floor and walk yourself back up. So it's a great exercise to finish off hamstrings. So that's my top 3 today for hamstrings. Hope you guys like it. Drop down some comments and stuff like that, other things you want to do for hamstrings, but use that the next hamstring day.